So I started out this weekend with a plan on how to get a lot of stuff accomplished here around the farm that we needed to get done, kind of spread it out over Saturday and Sunday. But of course it's Sunday. I still basically have that full list to do. So I want to try to get that wrapped up before the end of the day. So to start on our list for the day, I just walked back, checked the electric fence charger, making sure that it wasn't grounded out and it was working okay and the fence looked good. Last Sunday, we ended up pulling the cows and the steers out of this back pasture up into the front. We had a steer that we needed to load to take to the processor. And I just never turned them into the back again because it was really never a convenient time for me to get over here and open it back up again, just because I hate turning them back here in the evenings. So we got all day to keep an eye on them, so we'll let them loose. So the Belted Galloways seem to be doing okay back there. They've made their way out to the fence to check it, and they came back up into this corner where they got some shade, seemed to be just hanging out up here. While I was here, I went ahead and unloaded some feed for the ewes and rams that are here and loaded up some hay. We needed some extra grass hay at the house just so that way we could start weaning that final group of ewes this week. But we'll be back this evening to feed all the sheep that are here and check on the Belties again. So after lunch, we needed to get a ewe lamb loaded up and take her down to the stockyards. This ewe lamb had a rectal prolapse that she started about 2 days ago. The first day we were able to get it placed back where it needed to go, cleaned it up, just needed to watch her for the night. But a couple hours later, she just kept pushing it out. I ended up putting a harness on her and it just really didn't fit her well. She would always have it off to the side and she just basically wouldn't keep it in. This ewe lamb was one of the lambs that was born when the two ewes had lambs on top of each other. Me and Rachel have kept an eye on this ewe lamb since she was born because of the way she was growing and the way she looked. We were hoping to hold her back and keep her and add her to our flock, but this just happened. We didn't notice a cough with her or anything like that. This is a hard decision because one of the things we always look for is quality of life for our animals. And, the time frame until she would be going to the processor would still be about another 6 to 8 weeks. So in that amount of time, if she was able to retain it and wasn't really pushing it back out or anything like that, we keep an eye on her, have the vet check her out. But just because she just kept basically prolapsing over and over again over the course of that 24 to 48 hours, we decided the best course of action was to take her to the stockyards where somebody would be purchasing her for like a terminal sale. So that way they could get an 80-pound roaster lamb, what some people refer to them as. That way she would still be fulfilling a need. We just didn't really have a need for her here, and we didn't want to have a vet come out, take a look at her, do whatever procedure we needed to do, and then just hope for the best that she'd be able to make it on a feed program where we're pushing feed to them to get their growth, to get them to the right finish for processing. Because that could be a very painful, agonizing way for a lamb to go, is prolapsing. And these sheep, you can see, are jumping all around, playing, and she gets a tear or gets it hooked on something. And that's just something we didn't want to put her through. And so that's why the decision was made to take her down there. She was one we wanted to keep an eye on. We really liked everything about her. But in the end, this was what was best for her. And we feel like probably for her quality of life up until this point has been great, and we weren't sure that we were able to offer that going forward. So when we got home from the stockyards, we went ahead and had some dinner at the house, and then I needed to run over here to the bank barn to take care of the ewes and rams and check on all the cows. All the cows were actually out here in the front pasture when I showed up. So I went ahead and took care of the sheep and then walked around out in the back, just checking that poly wire, making sure everything there looked okay. Kind of seeing where they're at today by where the grass had been laid over, and it seemed like they stayed up under the shade and down by the creek a lot, so that's okay. I'm just going to leave that feeding floor open. That way they have access both to the front and back still tonight, just because they're comfortable with that. I don't really want to change anything up right now. Today has been a busy day. This weekend's been all busy for us. It's Father's Day today, so we had a lot of stuff going on with that. Friday night we had a birthday party. Saturday we had the farmer's market that's the furthest away from our house, and then we went to a graduation party. And so, we like doing all that kind of stuff. And so work kind of just gets put off, and that's fine. I didn't have enough time to get everything done today, so I have tomorrow to do it, and so we'll jump ahead to that. So an update on that ewe lamb. She sold Monday morning there at the stockyards. She weighed 90 pounds. We got 50 cents a pound, so we got $45 for her. Are we happy about that? Yes. The reason why we're happy about that, thinking that ewe only weighs 90 pounds right now, this is a really critical time for them, because over the next 4 to 6 weeks, we're gonna ask her to double in body size. A lot of the lambs that we've been taking to the processor that are anywhere between 5 and 6 months of age, they have all been weighing in somewhere around 185 to 200 pounds. With this feed program we have them on, we have really explosive growth, fast growth, and that's what we want. And with the way her body was reacting already, that's just not a good thing. I don't know if it was weak muscles or something like that. I'm really not sure the reason why she prolapsed, but I feel that it would be unfair to ask her to keep up with the rest of the lambs, so we'd have to separate her off on the side, or if we left her in the pen and was feeding her like that, that could lead to more complications, even if we had the vet come out and sew her up. Just because with the amount that they're eating and growing, it's just a lot to ask for something after it has a medical procedure and lives in a barn. And that's one of the things, like I said, we really want to watch out for, just taking care of the animals the best we could. And so we felt that this was the best decision, because that ewe lamb went and became part of the lamb market. So she'll be used at the size she was at. We're not really trying to push huge growth on her, which we believe that her body would give out on her and would lead probably to a lot of pain, and that's just not fair to her. But that's just a little update. That's just one of the fine lines that you play with these livestock. It seems like, where we had that lamb last year, we had the cast put on its leg, and that was a ton of work. And at the end of the day, was that the right thing to do? Yes and no. We're really not sure. It's just every instance is a little bit different. You just got to look at where the lamb's at the time and what needs to be fixed, because most things can be fixed and won't affect. But with that being a prolapse rectum, we figured we were just asking for trouble if we were going to hold her back and continue to keep her on our feed program. So everything worked out in the end for us. Well, that'll wrap up this video. Thanks for watching.